Alright guys, before I go into the little quick slides of the PowerPoint for health and wellness, this is the worksheet I want you to use to fill in the first question. It's asking, what is your level of wellness? So if you look at the directions, it says put a check in the blank before each statement that is true for you. I'm not giving you the worksheet, so you can just put checks on a separate sheet of paper and then you'll be able to count them when you're done. So the first section of health is physical health. So you're going to read all of the statements and decide if they're true for you. If they're true, you're going to put yourself a check mark on your scratch sheet of paper. So for example, it says, I eat breakfast daily. If you eat breakfast every single day, you're going to check it. If you eat breakfast more often than not, I would also check it. If you're not sure and you're like, I don't really eat breakfast, then you would not get a check mark for that. Same thing when you go down, it says, I practice good hygiene to prevent disease. If you're showering, getting your hair cut, washing your hands, we're preventing COVID right now. You could give yourself a check for that. One word people tend to misinterpret is refrain. Refrain means that you don't do it. So I avoid, smoking and using tobacco products. That means you don't smoke or use tobacco. Give yourself a check mark. If you don't use alcohol or other drugs, you get a check mark. If you're safe, you wear a seatbelt in cars and, other protective gear while bicycling or playing sports. If you ride your bike and you don't wear a helmet, I would still check it if you are actively wearing your seatbelt and if you are actively, participating in football with your pads or soccer with your shin guards. If you're not being reckless and playing sports violently, then I would still check it. You're going to do the same thing for mental and emotional health. They have some questions down here, like I get along well with others. You're going to have to be the best judge of if it's true or not for you. And then mental and emotional health continues up here. And then you have social health in the last section. I'm able to make and keep friends. I seek support when necessary. I'm a good listener. I show respect. I can accept defeat gracefully. I'm a team player. Things that socially you thrive at. So that's the sheet. You're going to check every time one of these statements is true. When you're done, I want you to tell me what level of wellness you got. If you have 10 to 12 for the entire sheet, that's all 3 levels of physical, social, mental, and emotional health, then you have excellent health. 7 to 9 checks, you're in good health. 4 to 6, you have fair health. It's not good, but it's not bad. And anything below 4 checks, you really need to improve on your health. And if you look at these things that you couldn't check off, this is how you can start to improve your health triangle, which we're going to talk about. So if you were someone that, had not a lot of checks in physical health, you could say, okay, I need to start eating nutritious foods and breakfast and maintain a weight that is healthy for me. And that could be something that would start you on your wellness journey. Next, don't mind me. All right, so we're going to look at health and wellness quickly. Presents. It's coming, it's coming, it's coming. I just want to show you that worksheet really quick, but you have a couple questions you're going to answer about health and wellness. It shouldn't be super hard. I'm assuming if you're in 10th grade health, you've heard this before. 8th graders, this might be new for you, but I'm hoping you know something about your health. So what is health? Before you find out what the definition of health is on your worksheet, I want you to go back and I want you to write what you think health means. Like, what is your definition of health? What makes you healthy? So pause the video, go to your worksheet, you put your own definition before I tell you what it is. So the actual definition of health, hopefully you had something close to this, especially getting a sneak peek with that worksheet on what it means to be healthy. It's a combination of your physical, mental, emotional, and social well-being. So we have 3 sides of our triangle that are going to make up our total health. The choices you make and the actions you take every day shape your health. So granted, if you make one bad choice one day to not exercise, which guilty, we're not all going to exercise for 30 minutes every single day. Everyone likes to rest once in a while. One day of exercise won't kill you. If you are that person that's going to sit and not exercise for, most days or years, that's when it starts to really affect your health triangle. So this is our health triangle, and this is also what we're looking at when we're talking about the relationship between your level of health and overall wellness. So we have our 3 sides. We have physical, social, mental / emotional. And in the middle, this word called well-being. That's also your wellness. So if I have a perfect triangle, my level of wellness is going to be really high. If you did your check sheet and you had your physical side was all checked off, maybe your mental side was only half a check mark, so your triangle stops here, and then your social was another half, then you have a really small kind of disoriented triangle where you want this perfect balanced triangle to have the maximum level of wellness. So how do we improve our health? I want you to brainstorm a couple ways that you can improve each side of your health triangle and put them on your sheet. If you need help, you can go back to the checklists that we looked at to see your overall level of wellness, and you can use those. So if you need to improve your physical health, you could say, hey, I need to start eating breakfast every day, or I need to start wearing my seatbelt in the car. If you need to improve your social health, maybe you need to say, hey, I need to learn to be a team player. So use that sheet. It's like free answers. So otherwise, if you can think of anything else, add them to the list. We want to achieve a healthy balance. Again, you have 3 sides of a health triangle and they're all connected. So when one side of the triangle changes, the other 2 are going to be affected. Being healthy and having that high level of wellness means balancing all 3 sides of your health triangle. So this is going to talk about wellness. And again, wellness, I put in the center of your triangle. It is the state of well-being. It's your total health. So how balanced is your triangle? Is it big? Because each side is full of those check marks. Is it small? Is one side small and the other 2 are big? When your triangle is in balance and you have those 10 to 12 check marks and you're in excellent health, then you're more likely to have a higher level of wellness. This is just a little wellness continuum. So if you were in optimal health and you had all those check marks and you are good, you have this high level of wellness, you are active, you live the ideal healthy lifestyle, you're not sugary drinks every day, you got your fruits, veggies. If you were in good health, you're about here. If you were, we have neutral right here where people have a false level of wellness and they think they're healthy, but really they're kind of just in the middle and it could go either way with their decisions. And down here, if you had 0 check marks, you can kind of see how many check marks you had where you are on this wellness continuum. You're looking at premature death, disease, a poor quality of life. Your body has limited function. You don't have a lot of energy. So we want to be looking more towards this high level of wellness. we're not going to worry about this. But again, these are on your worksheet. What are the 3 sides of your health triangle? Boom. How can we improve each side of our triangle? That check sheet should help you if you have questions on what to answer with those. And then I want you to describe the relationship between health and wellness for me. And if you need to go back and look at my description of the triangle, just remember that, I don't want to do that. Just remember that the triangle, if it's not balanced, it's affecting how big this middle is, and your well-being is your total health or your overall level of wellness. So if you look at your check marks and you draw a triangle, is your triangle going to be nice and even and you got all 10 check marks on each side? Or is your social health lagging, so it's bringing down the rest of your triangle? Or is your physical health suffering, so that side of your triangle is smaller, and then your inside of the triangle isn't as full as it could be? So then when you look at your worksheets, you should have all this filled in by Friday. How many checks did you get? What area do you maybe need to work on? If, 2 sides of your triangle are really good and one's really small, or do you have a well-balanced triangle? You told me your definition of health. Again, make it your own words. You said my definition of health. We just went over it on the PowerPoint. What are the 3 sides of your health triangle? What is wellness? And then explain the relationship between health and wellness. Again, if you need help on that, go back to the video and listen to my explanation. How big is your triangle? Are your sides even? Or is one side holding back how big your middle piece is in that triangle and how big your overall wellness is? Are you in that false wellness where you think you're healthy, but you're actually not? And with the 3 sides, I'm going to add that you should be telling me one way to improve each side of the triangle. Again, fill this in. It's a Google Doc, so you should be able to answer all the questions and turn it in by Friday so that you get your grade in and it's not a 0, because I grade everything over the weekend, and if you turn it in late, I don't always see it. If you turn it in late, please just shoot me an email or a message on Google Classroom and let me know so I can get your points in the grade book, because I have a couple parents wondering about it, and it's because you're filling it in late after I already graded it, and I'm not going back and checking that frequently. It's a lot of work for me to go back and check everybody's late work. So please let me know if you're turning something in late. You can still absolutely get credit for it. Again, this document is replacing your fitness journal, so you don't have to tell me what you did for exercise this week, but please, know that you should also be getting some physical activity in.